From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, June 21st, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.28 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,265 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $20, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,734. Antiwar.com reports while the fate of millions of Yemeni civilians are up in the air with the fate of the Saudi-led invasion of the nation's main aid port, Hodeidah, fighting may be a more immediate threat to the 200,000-plus civilians living in the city itself. The safety of Hodeidah's residents is growing rapidly because the invading forces, having taken over the airport over the last few days, are advancing into residential areas. The rebel Houthis have been digging in to try to slow the advance of the Saudi-led forces as the UN tries to negotiate a deal. Hodeidah is the last port held by the Houthi rebels and subsequently the lone source of food and medical aid for 8.4 million people living in Houthi-held northern Yemen. The UN has warned the fall of the city could precipitate a famine and has been in talks trying to prevent this invasion. The United Arab Emirates presented the invasion of Hodeidah as the beginning of the end for the rebellion over 3 years into the conflict. The Houthis, however, are presenting themselves as fighting to the death to prevent the city from falling. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports President Donald Trump on Wednesday signed an executive order ending the practice of separating families at the U.S.-Mexico border. Trump said it's about keeping families together while at the same time being sure that we have a very powerful and very strong border, and border security will be equal if not greater than previously. Trump said his immigration policy continues to be zero tolerance. Under the order, entire immigrant families would be detained together by the Department of Homeland Security pending legal and court proceedings for the parents. Children would only be separated from their parents if their safety is at risk. Trump also ordered the Department of Justice to expedite the adjudication of cases involving families with children when possible. The executive order calls on Attorney General Jeff Sessions to seek a change to the so-called Flores settlement, which prohibits immigrant children from being detained for more than 20 days. A spokesperson from the Department of Health and Human Services, which is currently responsible for housing and caring for the already separated children, told NBC News they have no new orders on how to handle the children in their custody. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports a hiker who's been missing for 2 days was found dead on Wednesday, the victim of an apparent bear attack on the outskirts of Alaska's biggest city, according to Anchorage police. The body of 44-year-old Michael Soltis was discovered after a brown bear mauled one of the volunteers searching for the missing man, according to MJ Tim of the Anchorage Police Department. Tim said the cause of death has not yet been confirmed and is still being investigated, but it appears that he was killed by the same bear that attacked the volunteer. Tim said what we believe is the brown bear was protecting its find, which turned out to be the body of the missing hiker. Tim said the initial attack happened in Eagle River, a woodsy suburb of Anchorage. Michael Soltis, who lived near the attack site, was an avid hiker and was last seen on Monday afternoon. His body was found just off a road in the area down a steep hill. Tim said officers have not yet found the bear, but have set a perimeter around the attack site, and if the bear returns, we're prepared to deal with it appropriately. Tim said the injured searcher was taken to a local hospital with a leg wound and is expected to survive. The Eagle River attack happened almost exactly a year after a 16-year-old Anchorage boy was killed by a black bear during a mountain race in Anchorage. The city is home to about 40% of Alaska's population, as well as bears, moose, wolves, and other wildlife. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at FPPRadio.com.